Hi everyone, it's Kristen with Vanity Talk. I have to apologize in advance for always whispering in these nighttime videos, but I just put my little ones to sleep. Anyway, so tonight we're going to be talking about brushes and cleaning our brushes. No matter what you're spending on them, whether you're getting yourself some really good high quality brushes or whatever works for you and is inexpensive, regardless, whatever it is that you're using, you need to be cleaning them on a constant basis. So if you're not really sure how often you should be cleaning them, weekly, sometimes bi-weekly. Anything that you put cream on, liquid foundation, things like that, concealer, those brushes should be cleaned twice a week. Anything that you use powder with, once a week, and that includes shadows. So what you should be doing is spot cleaning on a daily basis, and that means as soon as you are finished, using your makeup brush, you just wipe it a little bit on a paper towel and take some of the color off, and it'll do the job until you take the time to, go into the bathroom and do your nice wash. There are actually, if you go on Amazon or a couple other different sites, there are brush cleaners that you can purchase that are actually not that expensive. I do not have one of those, but I don't know, I might have to invest in one. However, what I'm going to show you tonight really doesn't take that long. It just takes the commitment of actually doing it. So, there's several different ways that you can be cleaning your brushes, but I think the easiest way to do it is to use baby shampoo and a little bit of olive oil. So you're probably wondering why olive oil. Well, that's because if you haven't washed your brushes in a bit, or even if you do wash it on a weekly basis, the makeup builds up and it gets deep down inset to those bristles. So sometimes the shampoo is not going to do enough to help release and slide that makeup right off like the oil will. You're just putting a tiny bit of the oil on it. I'm going to demonstrate that now. You do wash it off, and then it helps the shampoo pull off that makeup a lot easier and smoother, and it's a lot quicker, and you won't be ruining your brushes, swiping them back and forth or spinning them around in a cup, and kind of pulling apart the bristles that way. So I'm going to show you this really quickly, and again, there's a lot of different techniques. But I'm going to show you what works for me. So, first and foremost, I just put literally like a little dab of olive oil on a paper towel. I'm going to take my deluxe brush, which I use a lot. And if I can show you here, basically just lightly swiping back and forth. Now, because I spot clean, I don't really see a lot of color coming off this one too badly, which is good. You could also use baby wipes in between, and that would prolong. Maybe you would have to wash your brushes, every 2 weeks instead of once a week if you use something like that that's a little bit wet. But you do have to make sure that they dry, because the problem is bacteria needs moisture to grow. So especially, that's why I said with the brushes you use, your liquid foundation, your concealer, anything that is wet, that's where you're going to get the bacteria first and foremost. And if you are being, good about washing your makeup brushes, but you're not letting them really dry, you're not really helping the problem there. So we did that. Next, just going to rinse some of that oil off. And then just a little tiny dab of my shampoo, and I'm just using my hand. You can use a cup, you can use a plate. I'm using my hand because I think it's gentler on the actual brush rather than something that is glass or ceramic. But what I do like to do is give it a little swoosh in the water right before I'm done, and I've decided that it's clean. So you're going to work a nice lather into it, if you can kind of see that. Now again, I happened to pick one that didn't have too much color in it, so I apologize for that, but I'm pretty good about cleaning my brushes. So I'm gonna rinse that off, and then I'm actually gonna take just like a clear container so that I can see. And I'm not gonna put the brushes on the very bottom. I'm just gonna swish it around in the water. And this is kind of where you can really tell that if the water is still clear, which it is, then you have a nice clean brush. If it's not clear, then you have to work a little bit more shampoo into it, or you might have to repeat the oil step, but I really wouldn't do that because you don't want too much olive oil on there. So I'm just kind of drying it off on a different end than the olive oil itself. And I like to shape it back into its original shape. Otherwise it'll dry kind of funny. And then as far as drying, you can do one of two things. This I stole from another unique presenter, which I love this idea. Her name is Lena, and Lena, thank you for letting me steal things from you. So you take a hair tie and just put it around a cup, and it hangs dry, which is nice. For the brushes that are extra long, however, like your blush brushes and maybe your kabuki or your powder brush, I like to put it on a washcloth, and I'm going to take you here to look at that. And you see it's like rolled up a little bit so that there's some height, so that there's like a downward motion, a little bit of a lift, so that this can dry a little bit better. So all I did was roll like 2 or 3 times that washcloth there. So there it is, very simple, and that's it. So wash those brushes, because, you know, for example, this one, which I should have demoed with, these bristles are normally white, and they're not right now. So you need to get it as close back to its original integrity as you can, and on a weekly basis, ladies, because we do not want bacteria, and we do not want to put gross things back on our face, because what happens is they sit in your whatever cup that you put them in, anything that's on your, you know, makeup stand or your vanity or your dress or whatever, and the bacteria is just settling and settling and settling, and we're just adding to it every single time. And then we put it on our makeup, we put it right back on our face, and we're trying to be good to our skin, because our skin will thank us if we are. So this is one of the many ways that we need to be doing that. So I hope that you go and take this into account, do some brush washing at some point this week, and if you do, post some pictures of your clean brushes. I would love that. Thanks so much, and have a great night.